The sensation of the ground vanishing beneath one's feet, the heart pounding like an unhinged drum, and the air seeming to grow thin, rendering each breath a Herculean effort. For many, this terrifying experience is the reality of a panic attack, a sudden and intense surge of fear or discomfort that peaks within minutes. This is not a fleeting moment of nervousness or a common worry. It is an internal tempest that can paralyze and leave one feeling powerless against oneself. This material does not aim to be a generic guide to anxiety, but rather a deep dive into the nuances of how an individual can effectively navigate these crises, addressing strategies that go beyond immediate relief, with the goal of reconstructing the relationship with one's own body and mind. The proposal is to demystify the panic experience, transforming it from an unpredictable enemy into a signal to be understood, thereby opening a pathway to resilience and control. The context in which a panic attack manifests is rarely confined to a single isolated trigger. Frequently, it emerges as the culmination of accumulated pressures, unresolved internal conflicts, or even subtle physiological changes that the body mistakenly interprets as an imminent threat. The profound irony is that, at the peak of the crisis, the mind, which is normally our ally, seems to turn against us, amplifying innocuous physical sensations into signals of catastrophic danger. This disconnect between perception and reality is the crux of the problem, creating a vicious cycle of fear. The present script delves into this peculiar dynamic, seeking to offer tools that enable the individual not only to survive these episodes, but crucially to begin dismantling the architecture of panic. The uniqueness of this approach lies in focusing not merely on the what of the attack, but on the how of the adaptive response, understanding that genuine overcoming stems from in-depth comprehension and the consistent practice of personalized strategies. The direct implication of this experience is a significant impact on one's quality of life. The dread of experiencing another attack can lead to the avoidance of situations that were once pleasurable or necessary, resulting in social isolation, professional setbacks, and a sense of being imprisoned. Life then becomes lived under the perpetual shadow of the possibility of panic resurfacing, robbing individuals of their spontaneity and joy. It is paramount to recognize that each individual's experience with panic is unique, shaped by their personal history, physiology, and environment. Consequently, strategies that prove effective are not universal, but rather adaptable, necessitating a process of self-discovery and experimentation. The objective of this material is precisely to guide this journey of revelation, offering a map to explore inner territories and discover the tools best suited to individual needs, thereby fostering lasting change and a return to self-mastery. Instead of merely extinguishing the fires that panic ignites, we will learn to construct preventive barriers and understand the factors that fuel these flames. The journey that unfolds from this point onward is an invitation to look inward with courage and curiosity. This is not a magical process or an instant solution, but rather a path of learning and practice. Comprehending the nature of panic is the initial step, but it is the conscious application of techniques and the reconfiguration of thought patterns that truly empower the individual. We will explore how the body reacts under extreme stress and how this response, while alarming, is a misdirected survival mechanism. The way we interpret bodily signals plays a crucial role in escalating or mitigating an attack. This material aims to equip the reader with a set of resources to discern between genuine danger and a misinterpretation of the body's signals, enabling a more balanced and less terrifying response. The fear of losing control, of going insane, or of dying during a panic attack is one of the most distressing facets of the experience. This distorted perception of reality, fueled by the intensity of physical sensations, is what perpetuates the cycle of suffering. The promise here is to unravel this dynamic, demonstrating how it is possible, with the right tools, to reestablish a connection with rationality and self-awareness, even amidst the storm. The exploration will not merely skim the surface of relaxation techniques, but will delve deeper into understanding the often unconscious origins of panic, creating space for a more profound and sustainable transformation, allowing individuals to reclaim their sense of tranquility and autonomy. The primary physiological correlate of panic attacks is the dysregulation of the autonomic nervous system, particularly the exaggerated activation of the sympathetic branch. This fight-or-flight response initiates a cascade of bodily reactions: tachycardia, hyperventilation, sweating, tremors, and uncomfortable gastrointestinal sensations. The brain, misinterpreting benign stimuli as life-threatening dangers, triggers this internal alarm. However, the key to managing these episodes lies not in suppressing this physiological response, which would be akin to attempting to halt an engine at full throttle with bare hands, but in learning to modulate its intensity and duration. This entails techniques that promote the nervous system's return to its equilibrium state, the rest and digest mode orchestrated by the parasympathetic branch. Viewed through this lens, a particularly effective strategy is directed sensory reorientation. Instead of fixating on distressing physical symptoms, the individual is encouraged to actively shift their attention to clear, tangible external stimuli. For instance, upon sensing an impending attack, one might be instructed to meticulously describe 5 things they can see, naming their colors, shapes, and textures. Subsequently, 4 things they can touch, noting their temperature and surface. This is followed by identifying 3 distinct sounds they can hear, 2 things they can smell, and finally, 1 thing they can taste, even if it's merely the sensation in their own mouth. This practice, known as grounding, compels the brain to disengage from catastrophic thought cycles and engage with immediate reality, gradually deactivating the panic mode. Imagine being caught in a storm and, rather than cowering at the thunder, you decide to count the raindrops on a window pane, one by one. Such a subtle shift in focus can profoundly reduce anxiety.